That's right. You know what time it is. It's time for Happy Hour with the Lincoln and Kids. I do not condone what I just did. But hey, when you've had a long week of trading in the doldrums of the summer, hey, got to do what you got to do, right? Again, let me welcome everyone to Happy Hour with the Lincoln. This is where I'll do my best to answer all of your stock market related questions. Or I will share a certain stock market topic with you and try to do my best to stay on topic. Nonetheless, I will do everything I can to share my 2 decades of trading experience with you, the good, the bad, the ugly, what to do, what not to do, and the things I've learned along the way, just so you guys can continue to do what it is that you love to do the most. We just trade some stocks and make a better life for yourself. Now, before I get started, I do want to say, as I always do, I just completely updated the website in the educational section. So we now have the live trade room. We also have the live trade feed. And we have over 100 hours of both paid and free training content. So if you guys, whatever you're looking for, whatever trading level you're on, it does not matter. Visit thelincolnlist.com. Check it out. Now, I'm also going to post another link because I just announced this week I will now offer private training. So for some of you out there that want to take your game to the next level, you really, really want that one-on-one attention where we trade together as a team. We look at the good that you do, your strengths, and then your weaknesses, and really try to get you to that next level. So you're somebody out there that wants to go from a hobbyist to a professional, somebody that really wants to maximize their talents, go ahead and check that out. Everything that you need to know is there. So up there's the link. So here's what we're going to talk about today. Let me stretch out here. We're going to talk about your financial weight. What is your financial weight? Now, when I say weight, I don't mean how much Skrilla you got in the bank, how much you're throwing around on positions. What I'm talking about is how are you when it comes to money? Are you somebody that is disciplined when it comes to money? Are you sloppy with money? Do you live above your means or below your means? Do you try to make the right decisions, or do you just constantly make poor purchases? And I'll get to why that's important later. But I want you to look at it like this, and I want you to try to put yourself financially in one of these groups, and we're going to use weight as an example. So, when it comes to weight, there's obviously people that you see out there that don't give a shit what they look like, right? They don't care. Of course they want to be thinner. Of course they want to be in better shape. But it's not important for them, and it's not important to them enough for them to change their lifestyle. So they just simply don't care. They're obese, they're sloppy, they just don't care about their appearance. They've just written that off for whatever reasons. They just don't care. Then you have this group which is in the middle. And they're kind of like not in really great shape, but they try at certain periods to stay on a good eating habits and have good exercise habits. But they slip every so often. They're not as structured as they could be. They might be given it 60% effort or 45% effort, but they are at least acknowledging the fact that they have an issue and they're trying to control that issue or trying to get themselves better. And they'll go on these little patches or these little periods of time where they lose a little bit of weight and then they'll gain it back and so on. So they're thinking and they recognize that they need to be better and try to do better, but they're not 100% committed to actually getting better and staying better. Then you got this group out there who's the complete opposite. Like it's their whole entire life. They don't eat any sugar. They don't eat any carbs. They got washboard abs. Fitness is their life. They live in the gym and they're just completely gone the other way. They're just fitness nuts. So if you could just kind of describe yourself of how you are when it comes to money, which group would you put in? Would you be completely sloppy and obese? Would you be kind of in that middle ground, or would you be completely strict? Now, one of the reasons I bring this up today is because people always ask, what are some of the best traits that you can have as a trader? And I think we kind of have like this misconception about what's needed for a trader. And some of this I've talked about in whiteboards, definitely some of these happy hours. You know, a lot of people think you have to have some sort of an engineering degree, or you have to be super intelligent, or you have to have mathematics skills in order to succeed as a trader. While those help you, that's not always something that's going to do it for you. It's not necessarily going to make or break you as a trader. There's a lot of other things that go into it. But what's important about this is because the way that you handle money, the way that you handle your life in general, actually determines how successful you are as a person. Because one of the things that we must have as traders, and I'm not even talking about traders, let me take that back. as just entrepreneurs, if you want to start a business, I mean, one of the core elements that you just simply have to have is discipline. You've got to be disciplined, especially as a trader, because you do not have a boss. So nobody's going to tell you what you need to do every morning. You are responsible for waking up, getting on your computer, doing your research at night, finding the stocks or finding the setups that you're looking for with a financial instrument, executing that, coming up with those ideas, managing those ideas. You're responsible for all of that. No one's going to sit there and tell you what you should be doing and what you shouldn't be doing on a daily basis. Nobody's barking orders at you like they do in an office. So you have to have discipline. There's also a lot of time that passes as a trader where you're doing nothing at all. You see, one of the bad things, I say bad, I shouldn't say that word. That's probably taken out of text, but let's say challenging. One of the challenging things for traders is that there's a lot of idle time. You're just sitting next to the computer waiting for a setup to take place, searching for a setup, waiting for things to materialize. It just doesn't, there's just not 6-7 hours of constant action that's playable for every single trader based on their strategy. So you have a lot of idle time where you're just looking. And during this idle time, you need discipline not to have false looks. That's what I'm trying to say. Like false looks where you're like, you're looking for something and then you get so much time passes that you confuse what it is that you're looking at. That's what I'm trying to say. Maybe I've had too much Suntory here. But you really have to have that discipline in order to be good at trading. And you have to have some idea of just being good with money. Again, this doesn't have anything to do with how much money you have. You can be flat broke and still be good with managing your money, making good decisions, saving money on a regular basis, for example, not spending over your means. Now, you have to spend some of it. I mean, you do work for it. You need to have some entertainment. You don't need to be super strict, even though there are people out there that's like that. But you need to have some sort of financial discipline. More than mathematics, more than engineering, more than accounting, more than being able to read balance sheets, you have to have discipline when it comes to money. Because if you don't have discipline, you're just ruined. Not only as a trader, you're just ruined as an independent business person. And this just doesn't go for money itself. This goes for how you lived your life, not how you lived as in past tense, how you are currently living your life. And I've talked about this before because I've always referred to trading as being a lifestyle. So in order for you to be a successful person, let's just kick trading to the curb for a second because, maybe trading doesn't turn out to be good for you in the short term and you go on to something else or you find something else. I got something in my stinking eye here. But in order for you to be successful at anything, you have to have a structured, disciplined life. If you're a sloppy person by nature, you're most likely not going to be good at trading because the reason that you're sloppy is because you just don't have any discipline. It's not a bad thing. I'm not criticizing anyone and saying that sloppy people are terrible human beings. It's just you have to have, I think you guys understand what I mean. You have to have structure. You have to have discipline. If you're okay with being average, then there's nothing wrong with that. But if you're somebody that's sitting there right now, and this is the group I'm talking to, if you're sitting there right now and you're in this holding pattern where you're like, I need to do better. I need to be better. How can I get better? Like if you've already accepted the fact that like I'm okay with living an okay life, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not judging anybody. Please don't take it like that. I'm not judging anybody. To each his own. If you want to just cruise through life, fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you're somebody that's sitting there, the ones that I'm talking to right now, if you're sitting there and you're trying, you're like, I really need to make more money. I've got to make more money. I've got to do better. I have talent. I've got to take this talent and I've got to make the most of this talent. How do I do that? And all of that starts not just with the business that you're in. It starts with this whole entire lifestyle. Again, that's why I call trading a lifestyle, because you have to live that way. You see all these movies out there, and when they portray stock market people, they're out there, they work during the day, then they go out and get hookers, snort coke, and get wasted. Don't take this as the wrong thing. But they'll do all that all night until like 3 a.m, and then they get up and go to work. That's not what a real trader does. A real trader actually lives a very boring, mundane lifestyle. We're not very interesting people because we understand what it takes to be a trader. We respect what the market has and what it really is, because we've all gotten bitten quite a few times trading. I mean, we always know that we're only good as our last trade. And we understand that. And we know that anything can happen at any time. And we always need to be at our very best during the day. Now, I make a lot of jokes. I do the happy hour and I do the shots. I never touch this stuff during the market. Are you nuts? Because I need to be at my very best while I'm trading. I need to go to bed early. I need to sleep 8 hours so I can be at my very best. I don't need to be cluttered up in my mind because I need performance. We're in a performance business. So what I'm talking about when we say wait, and we're talking about your discipline, it's not how much you currently have. It's how are you when it comes to money? How do you view money? What does money mean to you? What would more money do for you? How would you take more money? Would you have more money and buy a Lamborghini, or would you take it and buy real estate or invest it in something else or start a 401k? How would you do that? Would you build your future with that money, or would you spend it frivolously? It's important to understand that, because if you want to be a successful business person, and I know a lot of people who are successful, they treat themselves well. They have their Ferraris, they have their big houses. There's nothing wrong with that. But that takes time. That takes time to develop. If you want to be a successful trader, and even if you want to be a successful business person, you have to have that discipline of finances. You don't need to be like knowing how to read balance sheets. You don't even have to be on the upper edge of finance law and know everything about interest rates and stuff like that. But you just need to make logical and smart decisions when it comes to your money. You need to stay out. If you want guys out there that want to be rich, they always say you get rich, you're going to make a couple of bucks, and then you go out and buy a Lambo. That's not how you stay rich. How you actually get rich and stay rich is you constantly save money. And you save money by living slightly under your means, so you have a surplus every month and you can save that. You invest over the long term. That's how you build wealth. You buy real estate instead of renting a place. You try not to get yourself into debt, unnecessary debt, or make frivolous purchases. I mean, every so often you need to treat yourself. But I think you guys know what I'm saying. Again, getting back on topic, it's important for a business person and a trader to have these qualities. Because if you want to be successful, you need to understand just the simple 1, 2, 3s of finance. You just simply have to understand money and what money means to you, what money means to the world, and what money is going to do for you, your family, and how it's going to get you to that next level, to whatever level that is, whatever goals that you have. So if you're a young person, what is that money going to do for you when you're 50, my age? Well, my age, what are you going to do? That money going to do for you when you're 70? But it all comes down to that discipline factor. You have to have discipline. If you want to be successful in business, you have to be disciplined. You're going to go through ups and downs. You're going to go through peaks and valleys, but you're going to have to be self-motivated individual. You can't, quotes aren't going to do it for you. You're just going to have to constantly stay disciplined. You're going to have to keep yourself from making as many mistakes as possible. And if you do that over time, that's what makes you rich. That's what makes you rich, guys. So I think I'm going to end it there. Again, the key is this. Where are you financially? Are you obesely fat, sloppy, messy, making bad decisions? Are you someone in between who's doing a pretty good job, but you know there's more in there? You know there's more in the tank there. You know you could be better. You know you could be better. You know you could be a little more structured, a little more disciplined, and you know you could get a little bit further in time. Or are you just somebody out there that's just freaky disciplined? You're just making a lot of money and you're just, not even spending it all. I guess that's okay, but you should treat yourself. I mean, you could die at any minute or something like that, right? Anyway, guys, one more shot for the road, a little Suntory. I do want to thank each and every one of you for watching this happy hour. It's been a couple weeks since I've done one. I shall be disciplined and start doing these week by week, like I said. Again, thanks for everyone for watching this. I hope my rant made some sense. I hope it helps you make some more money. As always, if you need help, visit thelincolnlist.com. And again, cheers.